Welcome back to The Good Talk, our post-game recap and Q&A show where we discuss the game we just played and discuss all your burning questions, both Warhammer and otherwise. We just had an amazing game, the ultimate showdown between Kragnos, the End of Empires, and Krondys, Son of Dracothion, and well, it was a real slobber knocker of a game. Slobber lopper.
That word is the perfect word for it. Going into this game...
Is it? Questions.
That game was wild. We had like limited idea of what would happen.
Oh my god.
We were envisioning that there would be a Kragnos-Krondys showdown, I think.
Potentially, yeah.
I think you didn't want that to happen.
I wanted to not get charged by... I was fighting Kragnos with Krondys, but I knew if I got charged by him, there's potential for... Just he'd be done.
Yeah.
He's done.
And in the end, it was really...
A story of Andrasta, like...
Andrasta was good. It was really Andrasta and the Frost Lord. Like, we're going to talk MVPs, but I don't know. I know who mine is.
I know. Yeah, we can dive on in. Who was your MVP?
The Frost Lord,
it was
for
the dang Frost Lord. Oh my god.
Like, he died.
Yeah.
As he killed Krondys, but he killed Krondys. Like,
yeah.
I think he did 16 of all the wounds.
Oh, the one wound. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not sure what the rider did.
Well, and then at the very end, you had to do one, and you did like 10.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good too.
Yeah.
You know, that counts for something.
Yeah, Krondys was.
Oh my god.
Was tough, but
he Balrogged it. He just took him down.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah, and then exactly.
He Balrogged him. What about you?
I just want to say I continue to be crazy impressed by those Frost Lords and those Frost Ogre, the Mounted Stonehorn guys in general, because it's like, okay, don't let them charge me. Okay, well, I'll charge them. And then, like, they're still scary, and especially with the guy that has the D6 mortal wounds, which I totally forgot about. And then, like, again, there were so many chances. I got lucky numerous times in the end to get the final shot.
Yeah.
Like, if you had rolled a 5 on that mortal wounds, Kragnos would be dead, you know? If I hadn't healed as much, and you rolled the same, he would have been dead.
Yeah.
So, it's really scary.
Yeah.
Having said that, honestly, my MVP goes to Andrasta.
Yeah.
She was the champion that we needed, the monster hunter, the slayer. She took the point back in the middle, killing the giant in the last turn.
And even that was kind of close.
It was close.
Right? Like, everything was so close.
You kind of knew, because you've gone up against her enough times to know that she is great, but she has 4 attacks. And even when you're hitting and wounding on 2s, potentially, there's enough swing there.
You pick up 1s on the way, right?
I needed 3 attacks to go through.
Yeah.
Right, all the way to that giant. So you were like, I don't know, like, we'll see. And again, luck went a bit my way.
Yeah.
So
it was wild. And at the end of the game, left on the board, Andrasta, 2 Judigators.
That's it. Everyone else is dead. I don't even know if you can call it.
Everyone is dead.
That's what you call a Pyrrhic victory. I think,
Yeah. I was saying I've never been tabled.
Right.
And I don't know that I've ever tabled anyone down that close either.
It was so ruthless.
And certainly both of those things have never happened before in the same game.
Well, we had the thing where you were like, oh, that's it. We killed you. You thought you killed Krondys because we had kind of done the damage by 1 point.
Yeah.
And honestly, if that had been the case, then I get tabled.
If
Krondys dies there,
if he goes back up in the sky, doesn't kill my Frost Lord, you're saying?
Yeah.
Because it'd been my turn.
Yeah.
He'd have gone and killed Andrasta.
Yeah.
He'd have healed. And then that's it.
The game was down to this knife's edge where it seemed very extreme, and if you perhaps just showed up at that moment, you're just like, what is this? This is so... But it was all these things coming up to this big moment where it was going to go super hard one way or the other. Because we're both kind of tough, but very offensive in power.
Yep.
Very, not glass cannon-y, but something close to that.
Yeah, I love Sigmar for this reason. I was telling Adrian after the game that, frankly, a lot of my games in Sigmar are like that. They have these wild swings and then just this, because there's not a lot of rerolls. So you roll 4 dice and you get 3 1s sometimes. And like
that's it.
Over the course of a game, that is going to happen. So like it is what it is, and you're like, cool. You know, the roll, all those 6 you rolled that one time.
Oh my god, on the concussor. That was huge.
That was huge.
Those 6s.
Yeah.
Super lucky. But that's why I do like the Hammers of Sigmar. I know that's kind of the thing to play, but I like it because it gives you that chance. And I went on this whole thing in the beginning about, oh, it's great for Krondys because you can get the 6-up wards. But the mission we played was tough for them because all the objectives are in the middle. And so Krondys never got a ward save because he was never on an objective.
Right. Yeah.
And we felt it, right?
Yep.
Every time you got in, you just did work, and there was I had no like chance to prevent it. Only chance was like you rolling poorly.
No word save is a big deal. Kragnos,
Yeah.
the 2-up is cool.
Yeah.
But you're just like taking mortals, yeah.
That was the thing. Even from our kind of practice run through, making sure we knew all our units, and I was like, okay, the mortal wounds I think are going to be the secret. And then that's when you came in and you killed all my adjudicators, all my concussors, pretty much in one fell swoop, one swell swoop. I was like, this is most of my tools to deal with this boy, you know? Luckily enough, I did start whittling down before when it didn't matter, but I knew I was going to need it later on.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough to have that. Look, first time for me playing Stormcast. I actually really liked them. I thought they were super cool. Looking forward to my return with the All Dragons army.
Yeah.
Krondus will be back. I assure you, we do have we have the small dragons, so it's 7 more dragons on their way. It's gonna be cool.
Paint to match him a little bit. And the Spyro the
100%.
Dragon paint scheme.
They're all Spyro the
I
Dragon.
love it.
My jam. Dragon number 1 in my top 5.
Yep.
Yeah. And what's your plan for Kragnos?
Well, I do have to say that I will take him occasionally. Really, whenever I go to an event, I kind of look and see, like, are they doing best painted or are they just doing a tournament? I think the next time I go to something that has like a best painted single model, I'll see if I can put him in there. You know,
Totally.
He's a cool model. He's impressive. So, but as far as if they don't have best painted, I don't know. What you kind of give up for him, frankly, is literally a Frost Lord and the Riders. That's what he costs.
He's scary, but at the end of the day, I don't know if you get the same value. You are taking him this weekend, however.
I don't think I'm going to, actually. I hate to say this, but I think I'm taking the same. We have another Sigmar game coming up soon that I'm sure we'll talk about. I think I'm going to just take that list again. Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Very nice. I liked playing Krondus. I don't know as much about competitive Sigmar as you, but I'm excited to try him again with the Adjudicators, honestly, because his debuff spell that you basically shut down with Kragnos, getting the -1 save is big, because it means those Adjudicators are basically Rend 2 now instead of Rend 1.
Yeah.
And that's scary. So I'm excited to try him more. I don't know if he's the most competitive, but he's definitely cool.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like the gist with these 2 boys.
Yeah, I think so. But they're super cool. They're fun. I'm going to play him a lot. I love the model. I love the fact that he's just like a giant angry centaur. I want to play him all the time. And I will take him to and play him at competitive events because, like, why not? Sometimes it's fun to just go and see what happens.
Totally.
And, like, I don't need to
And like you said, also for like best paint and stuff like that. 'Cause he's a gorgeous model.
Yeah, he's a good centerpiece model for a destruction
The
force.
yelping, man.
Yeah,
What's going on? It's like this psychotic centaur goat.
that actually was really, I think, the coolest thing about him.
Yeah, it was hugely impactful, and it made me think. It threw me off, right? I was like, you want to kind of chuck damage into him a bit at a time in these weird phases too.
Yeah.
And I was like, this could really backfire.
Most Order armies, and frankly, most Death armies, do damage a little damage in every phase of the game.
Yeah.
It's really only the Destruction armies that don't do that. So when you're playing against another Order army, he is just, they're realistically very high level that there are 4 times that he can do that and hit everybody around him.
That's wild.
And I loved the wacky interaction we found with the Andrasta.
Right.
Where the Andrasta actually makes him better.
It makes him yelp more.
He screams louder when she's around. Wacky.
Cranky
So
boys
funny.
tend to scream louder when women like that are around.
Yeah, he is. He is the crankiest of boys for sure.
I love it. Well, that was an awesome game. I'm super excited.
Super fun.
And of course, we have, if you are a Sigmar fan, definitely tune in on Saturday when we're celebrating Sanguinalia. In the morning, we're going to be having a 40K game. I'm excited to say it's going to
10
be
a.m.?
10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so a bit earlier than normal, so be there early. And
we're making John and Bridger play that one.
John and Bridger are playing that. It's going to be a 40K game. It's going to be the Sanguinor, of course, for Sanguinalia, fighting against some winter elves, which will be some sort of Eldari in the afternoon. We'll be back with a brand new battle tome, Magakin of Nurgle, facing off against, yep, you guessed it, Destruction.
Yeah.
Shock.
Yeah, we won't always only run Destruction, guys.
You're like, here's Zach again with his Ogre.
Other AOS armies are on the way, we promise, but...
I will come back with my Sylvaneth done.
Yeah, of course, right? And this game, though, has a theme, right?
This is a theme game. This is a Maul Santa off.
Yeah. And look, we saw the Frost Lord. Like, if anyone deserves to be in the mall Santa off, it's him.
Yeah.
Who's the other Santa?
The other Santa is the greatest, the true Santa, I would
Yeah.
say. This is the great unclean one, of course, bringing the bounty of Nurgle and giving gifts to all. I'm going to give you all the disease points.
Yeah. Now, we will say this. We're not going to show any yet, but it's a theme game for Mall Santas. There may be outfits.
There could be outfits.
And we're not actually talking about us. No. Although there may be.
I think we are.
I think we also
there may be both.
But there
Conversions, you might say.
Yeah, there may be some model outfits.
So excited.
Yeah, we're excited.
Awesome. Well, we do have some mail.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
I hope it's okay that we open it, Mr. Cobra Commander. I did check it to make sure it's nothing inappropriate. But
Nothing scandalous.
yeah, that makes it sound worse than it is. But this is from our good friend Cobra Commander. Thank you for sending this.
Thank you, Cobra.
Awesome card with the red gobo, is of course the symbol of kind of Christmas spirit for GW. And so here we go. Greetings, Titans. Thank you all for the laughs your stream provided in 2021. May 2022 bring you more crumpin' and even bigger bags of teeth. Happy holidays, the Cobra Commander. Thank you, Cobra.
Thank
I really
you, Cobra.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Amazing community member, and we wouldn't be the same without you. So
No.
appreciate
Like
it.
an OG.
Yeah.
OG.
Cobra's been
is
here
definitely
since the
OG.
beginning. So greatly appreciate it. Thank you for the holiday
Yeah.
card. That
It
means
feels
a lot.
nice to get Christmas cards.
It's a nice feeling, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the only Christmas card I've gotten this year.
Like ever? Oh, this year?
Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah. I feel like we move around too much to get
Yeah.
holiday cards. Once we're more established, Mel.
Once we're more established. Once we're big kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we have a number of questions we're going to get through, but just one final reminder. This is actually not the final. I'm a liar.
It will never be the final reminder.
Hop on over and take a look at the Kickstarter for Titans Terrain, which concludes shortly. Today's the last day. If you want to get your copy and support the Kickstarter, today is the day to do it because we're trying to reach that final stretch goal to unlock those half tiles. Thank you so much for those of you who have supported it. We really, really mean a lot. We want to get as many people to get into this as possible. And so we greatly appreciate your support. And we think it's a pretty cool set of terrain, which we've been playing on all week. So check it out.
We also thank all of you who have let us talk about it for 30 days straight.
Yeah, honestly, yes. For you, especially, there are those of you that will show up to every single stream, and you're fantastic, and we apologize for talking your ear off.
They're the ones that got it right when it launched,
right,
and then got to hear about it for 30 days.
Yep.
I only hope that all of those fans who have had to listen are not also in a market, and NPR listeners that are also currently doing a pledge drive there, because that would be crazy.
Well, I just love that I hear about it, and then I get targeted ads for it.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm
Me
just
too.
like, how much did we pay to target me for
Yeah.
this ad?
I mean, obviously, it's reaching
working.
the right people, right? All right, so let's dive on to some questions, yeah?
Right, let's do that. Thank you, Hatseed12.
Cool.
Sorry, but 40K question over here. Let's say you two want to get serious with your significant other, your primary significant other,
Okay.
and you'll have to ask the Emperor for his approval. What would you say? Role play it. Do
Oh,
it.
man.
Who's your significant other?
So, Gilliman is my husband.
That's going to be impossible.
Yeah, I feel like, so I can't pitch myself as improving Gilliman, because let's be honest, Gilliman's going to be improving me. So I can't do that, but I kind of sort of lean into like my good side, like I'm an honorable, good man, and I would support his son throughout life. And that's the only angle I can provide. Like, look, I'm not
Very
good at
basic.
anything that you'll value, Mr. Emperor, but I'll do right by your son.
It might work. Does Mel have a Primarch?
I do,
It does.
isn't it?
Yeah.
William and Russ?
Yeah.
Man, would I just,
I was like, I'm not going to give you any more information than that.
would it just be like, I am a Beastmaster, it'll be fine, like I'll take care of this?
I think so.
Yeah, I
you
think you're-
approve your like
You like
beast
horses. You have.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely where
This stuff could help,
we
yeah.
eventually decided that I love horses more than I love him being intelligent. So
Well, that's
Maybe
good.
don't bring that up.
Well, I think you could bring that up. I think if the Emperor, if someone said that honestly to him, he'd be like, you know what?
yeah, I would
You're right.
I would have to be like, you know, this is the best deal you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And I will take care of this for you. So kind of how I asked for no.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real, right?
Mine's Magnus. I don't think I'd have a problem. I don't even think I'd bother asking. Magnus, I don't know that they're on speaking terms.
You'd be like, oh, thank God someone's willing to like marry him.
Yeah,
take him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he'd be into it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, in some ways, this marriage could be more interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Emperor's like, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Boomstick. Hey, y'all. Sorry, not sorry, Zach. Started my first AOS army. Cool, boys. What would y'all say are the key differences between 40K and AOS rule-wise?
Ooh, what a great question.
The sorry y'all, by the way, joke's on you, Boomstick, because Mel had to read it.
Oh.
I was saying that I usually switch it to you guys or folks or something because I just like
he doesn't like saying y'all. That's so
well,
weird.
you know,
y'all is the best gender neutral
It is.
It's inclusive.
introduction
It's really good.
ever.
But Zach doesn't like that.
It's really
fact.
good. But
Weird.
I grew up in the Northeast, and then I moved down to the South, and they all said y'all, and I was just like, I don't want to just like take their word. It feels weird when I say it,
No.
and they're all like native speakers of y'all, and I'm like, I'm
No, California. This is the land of the progressive pronouns.
But he's
It
not a
is-
California native.
not Californian.
That's what he's saying.
You are here now. Welcome. Y'all is the only gift the South can give.
Ooh, hot take.
Coming as a Southerner. Because, like, the cuisine is actually African.
Cut the feed.
The cuisine is a mix of stuff. It's very French as well.
Yeah.
There's,
Okay, I'm not
there's a
from that part of
lot.
the
There's
South.
Scottish, English.
It's the only gift the South can give. Oh, man.
the South
People are
is-
still talking about the squirrel thing, Mel. Let's not add this.
No.
Oh, God.
The South is great. Y'all, just like as a Yankee, just as a word that I never said.
So wait, what do you say again?
Well, I know it's really not apparently gender neutral, but I frequently say you guys.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
call
not really.
a group of girls guys.
If you're California, you can say dude is gender neutral.
Yeah, dude is gender neutral.
Dude
in
is
California.
Yeah.
is more gender neutral than guys.
Hey all, often is what I say.
That's y'all.
That's y'all. Hey, y'all.
Yeah, but it's
Oh, he's saying hey all.
yeah.
Oh, hey, all.
He's
Hey
like,
all.
Hey all. How are you today?
Edward
fellow-
recommends yins. What might recommend from Pittsburghies? I can't read
Yins?
that
Yins
far.
is from Pittsburgh. Yeah,
Yins.
that's like.
That's your peoples.
How do you like?
I mean,
No,
not-
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is like a gateway city. It's really Pennsylvania is like half East Coast, half Midwest. Pittsburgh is like the Midwest part
Can
of.
you use yins in a sentence?
It's just like, are yins going to the
Okay.
Christmas party or
That's
something
helpful.
like that?
I like that.
Yeah,
This is your fault.
I can't do yins.
You can't do yins.
Yeah.
What about you, Bubs?
I agree with Stacks. It's not necessarily always my call to make, but I feel like you guys is gender neutral. On the East Coast, everyone says that's what people say, like in Philly and Baltimore and stuff.
Folks, we got folks.
Folks. I like
too.
folks.
Folks, we
Yeah,
say.
folks is good. Yeah.
Melody agrees. That's just y'all. Hey, all is just y'all.
Yep. It is.
It's hey all with more steps.
Look, I'm not saying these aren't true. It's
if you want to say hey all, that's fine.
Yeah.
Y'all. All right. Wait, was that a
we
question?
didn't actually. Yes, there's a
No,
really
we-
serious good
There
question,
was
which
a good
is
question. and we
differences,
just totally
rules
lost
difference
it.
between
Oh my
40K
God.
and Sigmar.
That's right. Thank you. And this is who's this from? Boomstick.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you,
Boomstick,
Boomstick.
who I think I offended in my response
With
as well.
777, always always appreciated. So differences.
Do you think? Serious question. I wonder if Boomstick means more like I'm guessing he doesn't really mean like go in and talk about actual rules differences, but
Okay.
like the feel, like what how does it make the game? How do the rules impact the experience of playing the game? We could answer it both ways, of course, but
Naturally. So yeah, especially in terms of list building, Age of Sigmar right now is fewer units. They often have like a particular role. Like you can see, we're playing with very few units here, and that's common right now, even in the competitive events, because of a number of things. The way that the command, you have all these extra command abilities work. You have extra command points to use, so you're going to want to have less units so you can kind of stack these. I don't know. I'm not doing a good job of this. You take it away.
wow.
Because you can stack command abilities, but you're having to pop all these buffs and like react like this. So you actually want fewer pieces in that way to be able to do these things.
Yeah.
And there are many ways of stacking some things, like the pluses to save defensively, and so this kind of contributes to that. The kind of the way that the redeploys work, the way that the Overwatch works, right? The Unleash Hell, and also the potential for double turns.
Yep.
All these things kind of incentivize having these lesser of these units, but kind of having a plan for them. So you can see it's like, okay, I'm screening, here's my screen, and I'm also planning to do a redeploy. I'm not going to do the redeploy with my archers because I know they're going to be shooting, and they're saving this command point for this, so that things have, they're not like set roles, but they kind of fit better into categories. And so this all kind of pushes you towards having these less units and they're more specialized.
I agree. I could talk about this for hours, I will not. But I will say that it is a movement game, just like 40K. So that's a big similarity. Movement is both the most important and the most powerful phase of the game. I think for me, it has, I love the fact that most of the command abilities keep coming back. It's interesting in 40K how things dwindle as the game goes on. In Sigmar, you keep getting, CP. And I like the way that we also have the same abilities.
Yes.
And in this way, it almost feels like chess in like a game where that everyone has the same pieces and the same rules, because there is a little bit of that in there. I like that. But I will say, in general, this isn't exactly what you asked, Boomstick, but I'm enjoying Sigmar right now because it feels like this game was crazy. And we both played well, and it came down to dice, and it came down to kind of just fun stuff, and it's like the game's over. It's like such a cool way to lose a game.
Yeah.
You lose that game, and you're like, that was a fun way to lose a game.
Yeah.
I think the rules make it a little more, the big thing I would say is that you can't count on much.
No, you don't get many rerolls, as you mentioned earlier.
You can't count on things as much as you can in 40K.
Yeah, there's more randomness,
and there's pros and cons to that.
Yeah.
Both are their own experience.
And it can be very punishing too. In a both good and a bad way. Even before this third edition, it was very much like, oh, Sigmar is so simple, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it actually has a lot of nuances, but one misstep can cost you a lot. And that's compelling in a lot of ways, I think. There's less decision points, but those decisions are very impactful. And it is, like you said, a game about movement. It's also a game about just scoring points. In this case, we beat the crap out of each other and went for tabling. But often in the case, you actually have to be careful. Do I want to try to kill the general here, whereas I could get a battle tactic for killing it next turn or whatever? Yeah. And so killing is completely beside the point. It's like, well, you will kill, you will destroy enemy models, but only as a means to score the points that you need to take them off the point or do whatever. And so even more so than 40K, it's about that ability to score those points.
Yeah, I often will try to play as many rounds as deep into the game as I can, frankly, without interacting with my opponent's army.
Yeah, totally.
That's a style for my army, but I'm not the only one like that.
Of course.
Like Gargants do the same.
You put things in your control. That's a commonality with 40K in many ways, as far as if you're trying to play competitively. Find the ways that you can take control of the game, especially in a game with more randomness.
I know the last thing I would say is, when I was at SoCal, we were a bunch of AOS players were hanging out, and a guy came over. And they said, "Oh, you playing AOS?" He's like, "I can't get behind the double turn. I'm never going to play." And the double turn is just like, it is fun.
It's fine.
It's purely fun, and it's fine. And every time you're playing, if you can get double turned or if you can't.
Yeah.
And if you can get double turned, you're thinking about it.
Exactly. That's the thing is
you adapt.
It's another thing. It's just another axes to think about, right? And I think you played it very well with this game, much better than I did, where you were sort of preparing for the potential of a double turn, both with and against, and you even gave it away, as you pointed out. And that really showed a masterful use of it, knowing when to try for it, when to prepare for it. And it's just another skill that I think, it's easy to say, oh, the double turn is so much randomness. It's like, no, it is a factor. Prepare for it, learn from it, and it makes it hard. That's one of those things I was talking about, being punishing if you make a mistake. But I like it.
You get used to it, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ajax. AOS WWE hype. Monstrous Rampage now includes the People's Elbow, the Tombstone Piledriver, and smacking your opponent with a steel chair.
Oh my god. Here comes the Frost Lord with the chair! Kronus is just laid out. Oh my god.
We were joking about that being like Nagash or like another monster character, but ultimately it was just the Frost Lord.
I mean, Injastra definitely piledrive.
She definitely.
Yandrasta was running around like just like pile driving like the teammates. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you, Matt Baker. Evening, gents. I just received the
Canaanite Warcry.
Warcry. Thank you. It's so far away. Band and DOK is my fave AOS faction. I feel that DOK/Marathi don't really fit as an order faction.
We were just...
Which other alliance would you assign them to and why?
Oh my God. Just before stream, we were talking about this.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Matt. And I also am. This is the army I'm working on in the new year. And I know, Matt, you're a big Hobby Titans guy, so I'm excited. I hope you'll join us. I'm going to be doing a lot of content around this army. I literally am about 12 witches away from having about 4,500 points of this army assembled.
Jeez.
And I also have the Canaanite the Shadows, what are they called?
Shadow Stalkers?
Shadow Stalkers.
They're really good.
They're really good. And yeah, we were talking about this.
Yeah.
That's their order.
Their order, what was the thing you said that was like, oh, their only order because they like killing pointy ears just a little bit less than they like killing everything else.
Spiky helmets.
Spiky helmets.
Right. Yeah. So, and actually, Games Workshop had a thing recently.
It was James that said that.
Yeah. They had like an article, and it was like Daughters of Khaine, who are order only because they like killing basically chaos than non-chaos.
Yeah.
You know, one kind of cool thing about it is at the beginning of like the Sigmar lore, when it switched to Age of Sigmar, there were a lot of alliances with Order and Death.
Yeah.
And Death is part of Order, right? It is a form of Order. Daughters of Khaine are non-undead who are really into death.
Yeah.
And the Death factions don't really love death. They just are dead.
They're just dead. And actually, that was one of the big things about the Soul Wars was everything. Everyone's cool until Nagash starts trying to mess with the souls. Basically, that's partially true. Sigmar was messing with souls by returning them.
Yeah.
Messing up the balance. Nagash is like, yo, that's not how things work.
Yeah.
That messes up with the order of things.
Yeah.
They all kind of separate.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, but they kind of allow that transition of like all the different ages as like, okay, well, by the end, the Daughters of Khaine, like they're like willing to play ball, I guess.
Exactly, and actually, what Adrian's saying, kind of funny. Speaking of that, when Megan was kind of reading into the lore and she's getting interested, she made these like she took screenshots of like the lore and then like these side things from the textbook that are like, how do you think Sigmar returning the souls of the Stormcast made Nagash feel?
Yeah.
Was Nagash right to get mad and go back on his deal? Like these little like check for comprehension things.
That's amazing. And yes, 100%. Nagash is in the right.
He was kind of in the right.
Sigmar is like messing with the order of things, you know?
Yeah, it's not only daughters. Actually, Deepkin are also quite nasty.
Oh, they are more twisted.
No, that one seems like a wrong placement to me.
But those two are allies.
Yeah, they're allies, which is so weird to me because at first I thought like Deepkin was going to be my first like straying away from like my normal like vibe.
Right.
And then I was like, wait, I can take my Tree Lord Ancient next to like.
Yeah. It's
your allies also with Sylvaneth?
I think so.
Deepkin can be?
Yeah, there's even but actually I guess you can't use it anymore. There's actually a battalion that's like the Alliance of Land and Sea.
Oh, okay.
It's really cool.
My only ally is Deepkin. Oh, and cities, but cities has to be like the Dark Elves.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's interesting.
It's interesting. It's a weird space.
So there was a rules clarification.
Sure.
When we play Thunderstrike, keyword, is it not +1 to explode, but +1 dice to the pool? Do you happen to know the Thunderstrike keyword?
Why would you bring that up?
Never mind.
Why would you do that?
It's right. He's right. Yeah.
Well,
can't change the past.
Cannot change that past.
Why would you bring that up?
Because we are a channel of spreading knowledge.
Yeah, totally.
I don't have. Can I see?
I don't want to know now.
We need to know.
It's done.
I won't tell you, but I want to see.
It's done.
Well, the truth is, if at a tournament, if you'd played through the whole game and nothing was caught, the outcome would stay.
No, I would feel really bad and probably do something at that point.
Really?
And this is like it's a fun game between two friends.
Well,
yeah.
I'd rather stick with the cool ending.
But mistakes happen.
I forgot.
It's +1 dice.
You know, it's funny because typically, and it's almost goofy that they put that on Krondus. Like, he rolls 19 dice.
One more dice.
Instead of 18. It's goofy because what makes it compelling is like, it's frequently on 2 wound models.
Right.
So you're
you have
on
a
one.
bunch of them. You are getting another 50%
Right.
in
It's
some
so
cases.
goofy on Krondus.
On Krondus.
It's so goofy.
That's funny. My apologies.
That's okay. I don't. Oh my god, I want to be like, I don't know if that would change anything, but anything in the last 15 minutes of that game would have changed everything, and the world's chaos.
You can't change. You
Cannot change it.
Can't change the
Thank
past.
you.
Certainly not a
Ty.
past stream, right? It's up on YouTube. It's a VOD now.
It's forever.
Forever.
Ty, Matt, Sushi. I'm laughing and trying to
I
say.
just always call him
man.
Ty.
Ty, I'm sorry, Ty. Ty, thank you. Got the Sisters Battle Force and
Fingers crossed.
fingers crossed, thank you, have a CP box on the way. Has Adrian forsaken the Sisters? Feels like forever since they've been on the channel. There's an actual explanation.
Yeah,
for
great
this.
question, Ty. I discussed this in the Discord, but I don't know if I really mentioned it on the channel. What happened with the Sisters is actually a big chunk of them were for a long-term commission, which got completed, got sent to the client. And so the Sisters, at least the painted Sisters, were very, very depleted. Because I was always like, well, why would I paint my own Sisters when I need to paint this commission and we'll use it on the channel in the meantime? So I did not really paint my own Sisters for many months. So that's why they're on hiatus right now as I build up the armories, so to speak. So they will make their return, absolutely. I still love the Sisters. I love the new book. And it's not even new at this point. I love the book, so it's not for any lack of that. So they'll be back for sure.
Sisters and Thousand Suns coming back.
Yeah. They're both very paint-intensive armies that just need to be replenished. So that's where we're at, Ty.
In the works.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, Nurgle's Chosen Wa.
Amazing.
Grandfather's Blessings, Titans. Will the Titans ever bring a snake bite squig focus list? Can I get some tips on making a snow basing?
Second part of the question first.
Oh, yeah. So to do my snow basing, I use 3 products. I use AK Interactive Snow, which is called Terrain Snow. They're over here. AK Interactive Snow. And so you kind of slather that down. And you want to really think about how you put it down. And there's a few ways to do it. My way is 1. Also, look at the Beast Claw Raiders that the Studio Army for Citadel is painted. They really go snow heavy, and it looks great. Also, lots of times people say, "Don't go all snow. It looks bad." You can do it and make it look good. So you put your terrain snow down, the AK Interactive product. Then when it's down, you take these. They're called snow sprinkles. I think there's also another one called micro balloons, and they're fairly similar. And then you drop them down, and that is like the fine little. That makes it look like a fresh powdery snowball.
That's cool.
And so if you don't do that, if you don't put those on, it's going to look like wet glue. So you got to put those on. And then finally, you can take this one called ice sprinkles. And that looks like the film, like on the edges of the snow piles and stuff that you've made. There are other ways to do it, but I would look at the AK Interactive line. They're snow, ice sprinkles, and snow sprinkles. That's what I like, yeah.
Awesome. So Ty has been very kind enough to teach us how to say their last name. So it's Matt Sushita.
Okay.
Matt Sushita. Exactly as it says.
Sushita.
Cool.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Ty.
Thank you, Ty. You
Thanks,
always
Ty.
are in chat.
As far as snake bites list, 100%. I will tell you that I have the rest of the squigs bought, 12 more squigs. That's just another project that needs to be built and painted. So add it but we will.
Yeah, what else can we get Adrian to commit to on air?
I want to work on all these things. Maybe I'll take some on the holidays. And I was like, no, don't take more work.
No, you should not take anything. Yeah.
I'm taking mostly fun stuff. Not that
should
this
take
isn't
mostly
fun,
fun
but things that are for no other reason. But yes, we will run 18 squig riders, 3 knobs on Smashless squigs, and 3 boss squig bosses. It will happen.
People love those guys. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little shark guys.
They're cool.
Well, thank you again, Boomstick. Hey again, y'all. Still not sorry. I'm starting some corn CSM nights, but I don't want to do the typical red base gold trim. Any ideas or tips?
Ooh. I'm personally a sucker for black and gold, black and white, just like really, like just metal looks. Maybe metal as in like music metal, not like metallics. With lots of like weathering and like nasty kind of runes and sacrifice stuff, all of them.
Yeah.
I think that looks super awesome. You could even do like a white like Hand of Saruman thing on their mask.
Oh, fun.
I think that'd be super cool for corn.
I think the danger with not using any type of red is that does it scream corn right away? Does it bellow?
Does it bellow anything else?
Does it bellow anything else? What does it bellow?
Nothing.
Yeah, and
Black Legion,
Black
maybe.
Legion, right?
But they're knights, so that doesn't work.
They don't have
Yeah, Black Legion's Chaos Space Marines.
corn,
Khorne is a god.
right? Okay.
And Black Legion is it like?
Do they have knights? No, I guess not.
Huh? No, because it's a different faction. It's like saying Chaos Demon. The Chaos Demons and yeah, so it's separate.
Okay.
But there's no crossover.
No, but
So no, you can't.
Okay.
That's like being like, oh, if you paint your Tau red, will people think that they're blood angels?
No.
That's the equivalent.
That's like chat. Back me up. That is all right.
My confused people.
I'm going into Bridger mode.
Is that saying
Chad,
good
back me up.
Watch out, here comes Dante. No, that's just Farsight.
Look, you're not wrong, I guess, in a way.
But you are.
This is another.
I'm not being Bridger.
Look,
You're being Bridger.
You're not being. Neither of us are being Bridger. You're being Adrian, and this is how you got yourself into trouble with the hot dog hamburger
No,
thing.
it's not.
In a way, you are right, but what you're saying is that if I look at black and gold knights, I'll be like, oh, Black Legion,
Why?
because it's the colors of Black Legion.
But then why isn't your red Tau? Why don't you think that's blood angels?
Because he's running Chaos Knights, and
Yes.
he wants them to be themed
Khorne,
corn.
which is a god. It has nothing to do with the Chaos chapter.
What? There is a Chaos chapter that is
The World
worshippers,
Eaters.
right?
Sure, but that's not the same. World Eaters Knights is incorrect. That's not a thing that exists.
Okay, all
know what I'm
right,
saying?
okay, yes. I.
It's a different
This is hot dog or
category.
hamburger adjacent. We can
No,
we can
it's
talk
different
more. We can talk
categories.
more
You
off
act
the
like
air.
I'm crazy.
Okay, all right.
How about this?
It's
How about
adjacent.
this? How about
It's
this? Here's a reason to do a different scheme.
Yeah.
Blood splatter does not show up well on red. On black, sorry. Well, red
Or
too.
red either.
But it'd be cool to do a lighter color and do lots of like gore effects on them, which won't show up well on your black.
Gore
and that's
effects?
another way. Yeah.
Like Nurgle? No, I'm just kidding.
how will they know that? So you could have fun with that.
All right, I'll toss out two ideas.
Yeah. Don't say seafoam green.
Nope, I wasn't
Don't
going to.
say
I
nautical.
was going to as a joke.
Don't say mint.
Two ideas. One, what about replace the gold with bronze?
Okay.
Replace the red with salmon or even pink, or you could do something adjacent. So like pink, salmon, coral, something like that, along with bronze or brass colors. I like that, and then blood will show up. You look?
I'm gonna hard pass on the salmon color.
Like salmon?
No, no.
It's going to be Slaneshi at that point too, by the way.
Can I
I'm
just ask?
That's the correct category.
Just hard pass on all salmon.
All
color.
salmon pass on. No army should be salmon. Period.
Just armies. Okay. Other things salmon colored, other than salmon itself.
I mean, also,
Salmon rolls?
How messed up is it that we named salmon not the beautiful outside color of a salmon, but its inside color?
That's true. Kind of
So-
dark.
But
Zach.
that is a very unique color, though. The outside color would just be.
It'd be
Like
like
that beautiful silverish blue of their
Yeah,
scales.
it'd be like a turbo dork color. Outside of salmon.
The salmon change color over the course of our life, though. On the
Brett
outside.
suggests purple and bronze.
Purple and bronze is cool too. I like bronze as an idea, and I think like things magenta and bronze, pink and bronze.
Magenta I can get behind.
Sorry,
Not the pinks.
coral and bronze.
No.
Now here,
You're trying to see how close you can get to it before we get
Just
like
offended.
how
I
close can I
I
get
know
to
what you're
salmon?
doing.
now here, I know I looked at it right. Here's the other thing I'm going to suggest. Speaking of the Daughters of Khaine, in the Daughters of Khaine book, they paint this is red. Sorry in advance, but it's a different approach to red. They paint one of the avatars of Khaine in a super cool way where they paint it up with metallic and they do the lighting on it afterwards. And then I would use an airbrush, but I think they brush paint it. This sounds shocking, but they brush paint blood for the blood god. You could also use Minotaur fresh blood. It is what's called a ghost tint, and it's the bloody gloss transparent look. It actually looks quite cool in the statue.
Wait, they paint it on what?
On Daughters of Khaine, the avatar.
The whole thing, right? Because it's made of like blood, basically.
Yeah, but then he's got like some of the bronze and the gold parts showing through. So it's a cool way to do red in a way that for Khorne would look awesome. I mean, they would look like they were coated in blood on all their metal parts, and it would be quite striking if you did it well, which you could do.
I think, yeah.
It is red though. You
have to be careful, but I think it could be cool.
Yeah,
for
you have
sure.
to be careful.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Sleepy Gary.
Hey, what's up, Sleepy Gary?
Can't watch live today, guys. Sorry if you've been asked this already, but what y'all think of the new Tau Warcom article? Go Team Cragdad.
So, was there a new one today, or are we talking about Montcalm and Callion?
Not sure. While you look that up, I would just say, awesome to hear from you, Sleepy Gary. We met him at SoCal.
Dylan, right?
Dylan, yep. And I got to play a quick in-between round game with him.
That's right.
You guys fit in a game in between a round?
Yeah, he was playing Gargants, and I had like my ogres, and it was like a 45-minute game.
Yeah.
We kind of went to see what we could do. I think he won, and it was like me going around trying to kill Gargants. The second I couldn't kill one Gargant, we were like, okay, that's probably it. But I think I'm going to call that early sleep, Gary. I played Gargants this past weekend, and often they don't do that much damage. It's kind of surprising.
Oh, so you're saying could have had a chance.
I will say, Zach, I think Boomstick said, oh, I just looked it up, and I kind of like that. I think with your bloody transparent argument.
Yeah.
Not the salmon.
Not the salmon.
Well, I wouldn't...
Look, don't rule it out. So yes, this is, because today's article is actually about GSC, but I guess you don't want to hear about that. Yeah, it's about the new Montcalm, new Callion, right? Mm-hmm. So, the Montcalm being, of course, now being able to dance and shoot without penalty as it always was. Now it's turns 1 through 3. Extra AP when you're targeting closest enemy unit. Mm-hmm. And then Callion turns 3 through 5, fall back and shoot. And what's the second part for that one? This is, it's exploding hits if you're...
Like within a certain range.
If you didn't fall back and you're shooting the closest enemy within 12. What do you think about these, Mr. Top Player?
I'm excited, but I will say that neither of them seem... We were kind of talking about this. I don't think either of them seem blown out of proportionally insanely powerful. Yep. Neither of them are like, come on, that's not going to do anything. I think they're like where I like to see rules. They're like going to be cool, going to be good. Turn 4, 5, 6, lots of times as a Tau player, I am shooting the closest thing because that closest thing is trying to smash into me and murder me. Yeah. And so I like it. It sounds fun, doesn't sound broken.
No,
and you don't want broken Tau because people hate you when your army is broken, but if your army is Tau and it's broken, I can tell you, in the past 10 years, people really hate you.
Yeah,
it is the #1 army you don't want to see broken.
Exactly. Yeah. That was one of our wish lists, actually, for the new Tau book, was for everyone to be happy. For Tau players to have a cool book to play, and then for other people to not be mad at them all the time. I want that for them.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
thank you.
Well, thank you, Tellable. Hey, Titans, searching for the perfect blue recipe. Do you have the colors on the Lord of Change from the other week? Or LOC, did I get that right?
Probably. Yeah, Lord of Change, you're right.
Also, bit of a hobby question. Having trouble with my airbrush, common troubleshooting to try.
Okay. So the Lord of Change, this was painted by Colin Ward. We're playing Brian's. So I don't particularly have the recipe. Mine is pretty close, and I used electric blue. Maybe a bit of ultramarine blue, but I think it was more electric blue from Vallejo Air.
Okay.
So you could check out that paint and you could try to color match it close to that. I honestly think you could also look at Techless blue. That's the ultramarine color, right?
Yep.
And that's pretty close to it as well. Very vibrant, blending out to the pinks. Again, in mine, I used Squid Ink from Vallejo Game Air. But I'm trying to think of a pink in other brands that you could match it to.
I like cerulean blue from Minotaur. That's similar to, that's kind of similar to Techless blue, quite frankly. I will say this about blue: the master of blue on Instagram is Colin Ward at Legalized Mischief, and he like when we knew him, he lived in the area. He kind of got a reputation for only painting blue. Yeah. He also painted Brian's AdMech army that we see on the channel, which is blue. So look at his Instagram. And I don't know, I haven't looked at it in a bit, so I don't know if he's doing little tutorials or showing. And I know he's a busy dude, but send him a message and find one you like. Be like, I like this picture. what blue did you use? That's what I would say.
Totally.
As far as airbrush goes, without knowing exactly what your problem is, sorry, who is this user?
This was Tellable.
Tellable, yeah. Tellable, without knowing exactly what your issue is or your airbrush is, the biggest thing that I would say is you have to keep it clean.
I would take it apart, take it entirely apart and soak it, right?
I would take it.
Be careful about soaking the whole thing.
That's fair.
I've seen people do that. So if you like soak the individual parts, but for example, the spring part there's an oiled center basically, which I've seen people put in like isopropyl.
Oh, right.
And it strips all the oil away, and now it's like.
Yeah. You can re-lubricate it with needle juice. It's called. So what I would recommend is clean it. Find your airbrush on YouTube. There will be somebody who will show you how to disassemble and reassemble your airbrush. Learn how to do that. Start by just doing a very thorough clean, like Adrian's saying, kind of like anything that's almost like sealed up, like you could unscrew it. Maybe don't soak that. There's probably no paint in there anyway, so it probably doesn't need to be soaked. Yeah. If you do soak it, you can help it with needle juice. So I would get that.
Please stop.
That's what it's called.
That's horrible. Who in marketing was like, yeah, this.
Needle juice.
If you say it 3 times, it'll appear.
Yeah. So, and then when you're using the airbrush, so full re-clean. When you're using the airbrush, make sure you're constantly taking the time after painting a little bit, you get the flow good. Don't just keep going, because that's what people do. We say, oh, cool, this is working. Now let me go to a different paint. That paint's going to probably work a little different, but you're like, oh, it's still working good. That whole time, entropy is increasing inside your airbrush. So to avoid that, after every time you're done with the color, squirt water in, run water through. Maybe every 20 minutes, squirt cleaner through. Most of the times I spend airbrushing is spent running water through. The number one thing I'm shooting out of my airbrush is water.
Water.
Constantly, yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Goomeister?
Newmeister, yeah.
Newmeister. That makes me just think of the...
Well, I assume so, because it could be like Nguyen or something.
Oh, yeah, Newmeister.
Could be a play
You guys
on their
are
name.
living my dream. I just picked up Dominion to run the Draconith and Kragnos. Love the big monsters.
Yes! They're so cool.
They're fun.
Oh my
Have fun with
god.
Dominion. It's a cool box.
It's an amazing box.
Yep.
We are living the dream.
Yeah.
We are.
Kragnos, Krondus, we are living the dream.
Hey, what more can you ask for? I love this. Yeah. This new Stormcast edition is what's converted me to Stormcast. Before I was like, they're like, whatever. The new ones?
But I actually like them with... The dragons are cool.
Yeah.
And yes, of course. But I actually like them with... I've learned to like them more now, just without the dragons even.
Yeah. I'm the Vigilors, man. I know they're not that great, but they're so cool.
Vigilors.
There's the new bowmen.
Oh, yeah.
When they have, like, the cloaks,
they are
like,
good.
They're good?
We were talking about. We need to get them.
So cool.
Yeah, with the big bow. Yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Case Newell. In Blunderdome, you make the worst legal list possible, then trade. This is the part we are missing.
You trade.
You trade, and you get points if your list loses or if you win your game. One list was all spores. That's clever.
All spores?
But think about that. You get points if your list loses.
And you get points if the one that you play wins.
Wins, right?
That's fun.
That makes it clever.
I want to... That is fun. However, I will be a boring adult about Warhammer for a second. And I will say that, like I said, I think that there's some potential for the games to kind of be, okay.
Right.
I'd like to see something where half is made by one person, half is made by the other person. It'd be hard because the list might have to still be legal, or you'd have to figure out how to make that happen. But I like the idea of, like, the list can kind of work. It's got some stuff in it, but the rest of it, you don't know what you're getting, or maybe it's bad, or it's not ideal. I like that in general. I like the list to be a % of stuff that's good and cool. And then I like to say the other people, they're there to surprise us, and they're there to impress us, 1,000 points of what could go right.
I still want a TTTT where the Titans community picks what each Titan plays.
Be cool.
That would
Ready
be fun.
for it. That's all I want. Make it happen. Tell Brian. Awesome. Thank you, Chris Cox. Crondis is the biggest goose. Glad to see more of Zach and AOS.
The biggest goose.
This is from Chris, of course.
Yeah, the goose.
We didn't get a honk today, surprisingly.
No honk. Thank you, Chris.
He's a big old goose.
Yeah, he's
And you goosed him.
he's a rascally guy. He's
the goodest boy.
The goodest of boys.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Zeviton. Hey, Titans, epic fight. Me and my elves are dragonless. Aww. What do you think of this Necron list? Custom TW for pre-move plus OBSEC, CCB with SOL plus EW, SK, Ceravos, 2 Thralls, 2x5 FO, 3x4 Scarabs, 3x6 Wraiths, and 2x2 LHD.
Okay, let me translate.
FO.
Okay, so
okay.
it's the Dynasty, of course, with the pregame move and OBSEC and everything. Catacomb Command Barge with
Staff of Light.
Staff of, and the Eternal Warrior, which is the -1 damage. And then
SK, is that like Scork?
Silent King.
Silent King.
Caesaris, who's the buffing guy.
Yep.
2 Techno Thralls. 2x5 Flayed Ones.
Okay.
3x4 Scarabs. 3x6 Wraiths. And 2x2
Low cost.
Heavy Destroyers.
Yep.
Good job. I thought it was like Latter-day Saints or something.
Latter-day Saints.
Oh, yeah. So, wait, we need to see the list, Mel. Sorry.
No, we're done.
No,
That's it. I still have
do
to
you
keep
think?
it in my head. Is that 2,000 points? Feels very elite, no? Oh, 3x6 Wraiths. It is very elite.
Yeah.
So, as always, I would suggest 3x5 Wraiths so that you don't have to keep that coherency, that double coherency. Also for Blast, which is always a thing. The Heavy Destroyer is expensive. That's some. If I was looking for something to try to kill in this army, I would go straight for them because they are a lot of points that I can kill relatively quickly. Having said that, I do like the squads of 2 better than I like the singles because you get your reanimation after the first one, and if you get 1 to survive, you can res them.
You're gonna be around forever.
You could just never be gone.
Maybe 1 squad or 2.
I think maybe 1 squad of 2.
Ah, no, see, it's like we told Megan in the game store the other day. If you want to use something in a game, you need to take 2 units of it.
But by doing the 2 is also valid. Just like, because the other thing I said to Megan was you could also double up and get 1 big squad.
Oh, 1 big squad,
Which
okay.
functions not the same, but similarly.
Okay.
So that's why it's like in taking 2 in a squad is functioning similarly. So those are my biggest concerns with some of the eliteness in this, and also the lack of infantry. I know you have the 2 Thralls, you have the 2 Flayed Ones, but like that's it. So that's like the actions. You're leaning heavy into the fact that you don't need troops because everything's OBSEC, which is a cool concept, and I like that.
It's just cool that you can do that with this army.
Right? Yeah, exactly. There's no troops in this list.
Nope.
Which is cool. So those are my drop a couple Wraiths, take them down to 5s, maybe drop some heavies, and just get a little bit of infantry to be able to score and do some other actions. Other than that, I like it.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Whiskey.
What's up, Whiskey?
Playing my first game of AOS tomorrow with my
Daughters of Khaine.
Daughters of Khaine
Nice.
at 600 points. Any tips or things to make sure I remember for my intro into the mortal realms?
Well.
What do you have any? Well, what would you say?
Well, we gave lots of examples of things that you can forget today.
Yep.
I think the big thing is just keep playing through. Like, you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Play through.
Yeah. We even there were a couple of times where we're just like, well, we didn't do this action. Well, we'll try to resolve it a little bit, but if it's too far, you just keep going. Don't get bogged down in it. And we even do that on stream, too. It's a good point.
But even beyond like a rule, what Mel just said is good because AOS games are crazy.
Yeah.
And frequently, you can look like you're down, but you keep going. You've got to keep going. And sometimes you can win just by surviving somewhere.
Right.
Just like run away.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so much with Sigmar.
Yeah. Those are a little bit tactics. I guess more so I would say if you're playing with somebody like a friend, and it's their first game too, and you know them well and everything, then you guys should, be cool with letting each other take things back like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, here's the big one I would say. Keep, during your opponent's movement phase, don't forget redeploy. It is almost always, I almost always spend a CP on redeploy.
Yeah.
Almost always.
Amazing.
Redeploy, all out attack, all out defense. Those are always what CP gets spent on. Daughters of Khaine have incredible. If you have a Slaughter Queen, or at 600 points, you're not going to have Marathi. But if you have a Slaughter Queen, they have fight in the hero phase. They have really good CPs, command abilities. So you're always going to fight in the hero phase if you can.
That's so good.
But your other one is you're going to want to redeploy. I always redeploy. Frequently, even if you roll 1, it matters. You can turn a 7-inch charge into an 8-inch charge for somebody. You can slide a unit over in front of something. Redeploy is big. Don't forget redeploy. Always be thinking about redeploy.
And then I'll add, if it's a friendly game, I think there's some things you can drop and not play your first time. Like we almost never play the terrain rolls, and things like to make what you're doing more digestible.
That's 100% right. What Mel just said. Don't play that. I'm going to say right now, don't play the terrain rolls. Yeah.
Awesome. Last one for the night. Thank you, Andrew Nguyen. What was your favorite model to build and paint for AOS? I've been scared to take on big organic monsters versus mechanical Lord of Wars.
Look, I love to build those. My favorite one, easy, is still the Mangler Squigs. What an absolute joy to put together.
They look fun.
So much fun, and they self-assembly relatively well. And you're constantly finding new details, and you're just like, look at this crazy thing and this thing. It's so cool. So don't be afraid. Get in there, and don't be afraid.
My favorite has been I'm painting them. I'll be in the studio tomorrow painting them up. Is the Stonehorns.
Yeah.
I've painted a ton, and they are exactly what you're talking about. Big organic monsters. I will just say, if you want to comb through, it's a long stream, but if you want to comb through, in the 8-hour stream we did back in August or July, we painted a Beast Claw Raider army in a day, me and Bridger, and I show how I did it in there. So if you're okay with how mine came out, that's one approach. If you want but you don't even have to use white, you can use lighter colors. You're just building up a dark underbase and then lighter colors, especially if you're airbrushing. If you're not airbrushing, fur is great for just dry brush.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So for me, definitely the Stonehorns. I'm about to do, 5 and 6 here tomorrow? I've done a lot of them.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
cool.
Fun. Big monsters. What about you?
Me was also one I did on the channel, was Alariel's Beetle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that is my favorite one I've painted so far. And if you also want to go back on Hobby Titans, we did Galaxy, and Zach taught me how to do Galaxy on my Beetle, and it's so cool to the point where I might change my whole Sylvan army again.
And a Beetle was fun too. It's actually almost like beetles are almost metal.
Yeah, it's
almost like
very
painting a metal model, right? Yeah.
So yeah.
It looks really fun. It really levels it up.
Model.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. Well, I think we did it,
We
y'all.
done did it. Now, as always, final announcements, things coming on up. Of course, final hours of Titans Terrain.
We're so close.
You only have to listen to this a little bit longer. We are very, very close.
We're so close to being done talking about it.
Oh my gosh, we're just about $293,000. Very, very exciting for the future of this project. You're going to see a lot more in the future.
More terrain for sure coming.
More terrain, more sets, different styles, and it all started with you guys. So first of all, I want to thank you everyone for supporting the campaign thus far. It's been really amazing, and we really appreciate all the support. So thank you. We really mean that. I know we say it a lot, but it doesn't mean any less. Thank you so much for supporting us and everything that we do. And we're excited to take you into this next journey of Titans Terrain and future projects. We have so many ideas for you guys. So that's what's going on with that. Amazing game today, Zach.
Yeah, super fun.
More amazing games coming. Again, just reiterating, Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 40K game. 40K winter Sanguinalia game between Bridger and John, which is always amazing. Mel's going to be producing in the afternoon.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Yeah, Mel's producing all day.
All day.
That's right,
I'm the only one working
You're
all day.
hosting Sanguinalia this
I
year.
am. Come join me for Sanguinalia.
And I don't know about you guys. Sorry, Mel.
No, I was going to say, I'm dressing up. We should all dress up.
We will definitely dress up.
We have to. I was the other day, I was like, I have a Santa hat. I was like, do you have a Santa hat? I asked Adrian. He was like, I don't know if we can find.
We're going to for sure find a Santa hat.
Okay, thank you. He acted like he didn't have a Santa hat.
He acts like
Mr.
we can't
Holiday
just easily get a Santa hat. Also, we talked too long and now have another chat.
Oh, nice.
So,
excellent.
We're not done.
Before we answer that chat, and then in the afternoon, of course, we have Sigmar game.
Yep.
Magickin versus I can't remember the Frost Ogres.
Beast Claw Raiders.
Frosty Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's gonna be in the afternoon.
Full Beast Claw Raiders this time.
Full Beast
no
Claw.
Kragnos.
Aw,
Yeah.
Full bean, cheese, and rice burritos.
Yeah.
Got those BCRs.
BC.
And that'll probably be around 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, anyways, to the super chat.
Thank you, E3 Bunker. Hey guys, so I left some minis that were supposed to be shipped you guys' way at my local gaming store to be shown off.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, Nurgle bestowed gifts to the other, and it's closed. Coming soon.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, he brought me to the owner. The owner of the store got sick, and now the store is closed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they're locked in the store, and that's okay.
That's all right. That's
All
okay.
right. Gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
They can spend a little holiday in a gaming store.
Hey, we'll be around. It's all good. We do appreciate it, Thrain. So thank you so much.
thank
and
you.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah,
You
as
know?
always, as always.
Yeah.
I think that then we did it. We did it, y'all. So please come